All right, we're going to try a quick lesson on the intro of Sweet Child of Mine. They tuned to E flat. I'm still in standard tuning. Let's start with the first part, and then we'll get into some of the details of this. So it starts with index finger on 12 of the D, and then 15 on the B, ring finger, middle finger on the G string, 14, index goes to 12 on the G, ring finger, 15 on the bottom, middle finger, 14 on the G, and then 14 ring finger. So that whole riff really slow looks like this. The way he plays it, Slash doesn't use his pinky at all, so let's keep it that, with the same finger arrangement. It might help you with, once we start getting it up to speed. So the first part again, 12, 15 on the B, 14 on the G, 12 on the G, 15 on E, 14 on G, 14 on E. So again, and then with your right hand, see if you can do it with all alternate picking. So we'll do down, up, 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 down, up. So that whole riff, it's kind of outlining a D major chord, like if you play D major down here, and then just move it up an octave. He's outlining that through the whole riff, and then throwing in, that extra note, the G note. So kind of like a D suspended. And then throughout, like as the riff continues on, you keep repeating that, but the bass note changes each time. So like the part we did so far, we're doing the bass note on 12. Now the next part, the bass note moves to 14. So let's try that part now. So now we're going to have 14 on the D, and then everything else is exactly what we just played, but I'll walk you through it. So 14, 15 on the B, 14 on the G, 12 on the G, 15, 14, 14, 14. And then for this G string note, I keep my middle finger there the whole time. I've seen people play this riff where like they keep changing fingers, and then your hands will get all tangled up. So just keep that middle finger for that note only the whole time, and then that'll, kind of keep you on track for the whole thing. Then the next part of the riff, we go to the bass note now is going to be 12. So then it's going to be 15, 14, 12 on the G, 15, 14, 14, 14. So the entire riff, when you're going really slow, is going to look like this. Then he repeats that one. Then the bass note goes to 14 on the D. Then we go to 12 on the G. So let's do that again really slow. I'll kind of walk you through all the notes again. So 12, 15, 14, 12, 15, 14, 14, 14. Let's do that again. 12, 15, 14, 12, 15, 14, 14, 14. Now we go to 14 on the D, 15, 14, 12, 15, 14, 14, 14. Now the bass note goes to 12 on the G, 15, 14, 12, 15 on the bottom, 14 on G, 14 on E, 14 on G. All right, so let's try this really slow steady, and see if we can do it together. So 1, 2, 3, 4. On D, then 12 on G, the finished tempo, let me check my metronome here, I think he takes it up to like around 128. See what that feels like. All right, so yeah, that feels like about what he does in the song. So let's take it way slow. Yeah, let's go about half that speed. So this is 60. We'll just do one note for every click. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's repeat that riff. So 12, 15, 14, 14, now 14. Then we go to 12 on the G. And then there's another little riff he throws in before they go to the verse part. So that little riff, you can keep 14, again, 14 on the G the whole time with your middle finger. 12 on the E, 14 on G, 15 on B, back to the G, 15 on E, 14, then 14 on E, 15 on E, 14, 12. So when you do that part slow and steady, it looks like this. One more time for that part. So let's try the original riff slow, and then we'll go into that little new riff. So. So for me, like the quickest way to learn this is doing it with the metronome. So we did 60 real slow. I would do that as many times as you need to until it's like totally perfect, and then, you know, gradually start speeding it up from there. All right, so let's go back to 60, and instead of doing one note per click, let's do 2 notes per click. So it'd be like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is actually a really good picking exercise if you keep it with the alternate picking. Like every now and then I'm bumping into strings that I shouldn't be bumping into, so even for me this is like a great picking exercise. And I think, I could be wrong about this, but I think this is a riff that Slash used to practice as a picking exercise, and he was in the rehearsal room with the band and they heard him playing it and it sounded cool, and then they turned it into a song. So I think this was like originally just a picking exercise that he used to mess around with. I could be wrong about that, but I think. Alright, so let's just go right to the finished tempo. Might not be able to do this yet, but let's just give it a try and see what happens here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, one time at the finished tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4.